Hi, Ivan and Camilla. I'm just doing a quick video to show you a detail in the kitchen that we have to modify, or we'd like to modify, or at least present the option of modifying to sort of make this detail around here over top the upper cabinet over the appliance garage look a little cleaner. According to the drawings from MC Kitchens, they have the bulkhead that runs here over top the window as the full depth. In other words, from the exterior wall to the front of the bulkhead as the full width as the width of the upper cabinet over the appliance garage, which is 22 inches. I'll just select a little bit more of a frontal view here. So you can see here that there's the exterior wall. Here's the edge of the appliance cabinet, the cabinet with the appliance garage and the upper cabinet above, and then the uppers beside that continue up a little bit higher with the crown molding across. Now, the crown molding would die into the bulkhead at this point where the bulkhead ran out all the way to 22 inches. However, and I'll show this view because it shows a little bit better, we built this bulkhead a lot narrower. I know you were very conscious of the sizes of bulkheads around the house and wanted to keep things very streamlined and minimal. I know you were concerned about the size of some of the bulkheads around the house, so we built this bulkhead basically as tight as it needed to be to house the cabinetry and the ductwork inside, which only called for a 14-inch deep bulkhead as opposed to a 22-inch deep bulkhead. Again, that's a little bit more visible here. So our bulkhead only comes out to let's say the 14-inch mark as opposed to continuing all the way across. So ours stops here and then jogs across, and I've drawn that out here. So you have your cabinetry here, and then there's the bulkhead that we built that comes sort of 2/3 of the way across, and then there would be a space with nothing where the crown molding over the tops of the uppers next to the to this tower of cabinets would come across at the sort of step back position here, where it's step back from the appliance garage cabinetry because it's a little bit deeper. So we would need the cabinetry company to install a panel to fill the space against the bulkhead. In other words, the crown molding would come across, and then they would need to do a paneling that came out by I think it's 2 or 3 inches difference to jog out to the depth of the front of this cabinet, obviously because it's a little bit deeper than these cabinets, and then come across and meet our bulkhead, which is only 14 inches deep. So you'd have a little bit of paneling here and a little bit of paneling there. We could put a crown detail on it, but ultimately it would be cabinetry jogging across to 2/3 or approximately 2/3 of the upper cabinet here, and then the drywall bulkhead would continue across there. So again, we built this smaller because first of all, over the top of the window, it's a very, I don't know why the file's a little jogged here. It's a little bit of a funny digital thing. There was a bit of a glitch in the design, I guess. But in either case, the depth of the bulkhead at 22 inches for that to continue overhead the whole way is a very deep and daunting and very sort of overhead ominous sort of bulkhead. It's very deep to run all the way across the entire wall, which is shown here. To have this thing coming all the way across, all the way out at 22 inches is very big, pronounced bulkhead. So we decided, as you had wanted, to keep things more streamlined, we had kept it a depth back at 14 inches all the way across here. Except that, and as you can see here, there's a little bit of a step back here. So our ductwork stops about here, and the cabinet makers would have to make a panel that would come a little bit down because obviously the uppers don't match heights, and it would have to come out and then over to meet our bulkhead. So that's possible to do in this drawing. We can have them make a panel that jogs over and also down. I accidentally drew them at the same height. Obviously they're not the same height, but I'm not the best drawer. I was sort of copying what the drawing shows. In any case, we would have a panel here and then have it come across and meet the bulkhead at 2/3, or to sort of more closely mimic the drawing here, at least from, let's say, there onward, we could take our bulkhead that currently comes across and would end at 2/3, and out in front of this cabinet, jog out the bulkhead and jog it down so that it actually hits 22 inches just for the last little bit, maybe a foot or 8 inches or 6 inches, however much we need to pass the front of this cabinet, so that you would see drywall bulkhead with a little bit of a jog in it, and then it would return and disappear into the side of the crown molding here. So in other words, right up against the cabinet, you would see this detail where there was bulkhead all the way across to the 22-inch mark, and then it would come up and the crown molding would die directly into it. The only difference is, instead of this face of the drywall continuing right through, it would come over and just deep enough to clear this cabinet, then jog over to our existing framed bulkhead and jog over, and then continue on across. So it's just a matter of whether or not you want to do this detail out of cabinetry paneling, or if we want to do it in bulkhead. I think after discussing with Amparo and Bruce, we all feel that it might be a little bit cleaner to do it out of to have the bulkhead come out a little bit further and make it just that last couple inches a little bit wider, which would require a little extra framing and a little extra drywalling to extend this bulkhead just for that little bit of extra material, so that the paneling came across and just died into it cleanly like it does over here. And then beyond that point, it would jog over and come across at 14 inches instead of the 22. So it's up to you. Obviously, again, Bruce and Power and I think it might look a little bit cleaner. However, you may have no problem with a narrower bulkhead all the way through, and then just filling the rest with cabinetry paneling. So let us know which way you prefer to go. Ultimately, it's your choice, but we could do either one. It's a little bit of extra work for this one, whereas the cabinetry people can actually make this while they make the kitchen. But we can get this done if you'd like. So let us know how you'd like us to proceed, and we'll set it up. Thanks so much.